Alrighty, well, let's continue this enormous project. So I counted all the panels, and there is 25 of these spaces, with just a few of these smaller ones, like the ones in the front and the ones in the back. So, but that's counteracted by the large one in the front and the two large ones in the eyes. So, pretty much just 25, even the amount of spaces that we have to do. Now, for anyone who's curious, they actually have to be done in a certain fashion. Like you see here, it's ended at a flat, right? So sometimes there has to be an ending at a flat, and you have to really be careful where you go. Like this one's going to end at a point, and this one will probably end at a point. So if I don't curve it to where this will be a flat. So when you're making your design, if you're going to ever do anything like this, if you're making your design, build the frame with this in mind, that this is going to be the key component to how you design your thing. So when you're looking at something like this is going to be this way, the eye is going to be this way, up a little bit, eye is going to be this way, and things like this might have to be this way, where things like this are going to have to probably be that way. But I may wind up doing it that way anyway, just for the sake of consistency. So we'll see how that works out, but we're working on this side today, on this panel here. It's always hard to get a good angle to work on this thing. I want the antlers to come up against this edge so that it doesn't slide off, so we'll just work on it there. Let's get that. Maybe bend that a little bit. That way it'll be a nice even thing. So let's take a look at what it looks like on top of my head for anyone watching later. So I don't have to go through some odd minutes of me fiddling with it before someone asks me to put it on. So let me get the comments on, let's get the music going, make sure that I'm not muted. Okay, I'm not muted. Alright, I'll put that up in the corner, go to my YouTube, that one? Yeah. Okay. And then music. So what I do for music, guys, is that I actually go into YouTube's studio. YouTube Studio, and Brian King. Oh man, yeah. Oh man, I forget. Sometimes I forget to give you a reminder, dude. I'm sorry about that. Wonder why my speech to text wasn't showing anything. The volume all the way down. Yeah. Oh, jeez. And yesterday I actually had the damn thing on mute for the first few minutes. Oh, what am I doing my phone for? There's the comments. Okay, let's take a look. Turn down my music a little bit for me. There. How's it going, man? How's that project coming along? See, it's 8 o'clock, so about 9:30 I'll be having to get off the stream again. I try to go at the same time I normally do. Ooh. Put that over here for a second. So I've got most of the top and back done. And so now that we've seen it on top of my head, we're gonna get started working on it. It's actually getting tighter, so if you're making something like this yourself, then remember that it doesn't have to be super tight on your head, because when you do the wire, it's going to kind of contract a tiny bit. Not by much, so don't make it too loose, but it's going to contract. But later I'll use a hammer to knock out some areas that need to be you know, more space kind of thing. Yeah. Do 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 do. This is my favorite song. YouTube Studio, hit the what do you call it, royalties button, and when you search for your music, that way you don't have to put it in the description every time. Alright. Oh, I need a wire. Alright, so we'll grab some of my scrap here. Did you see my post on community page? Oh no, I didn't. I wonder if I got a notification. Probably poured the resin. Oh my gosh, awesome. I'm just gonna take a look real quick. Community. Oh, computer's slowing down. There we go. Ah, there. Interesting. Wow, I love that. Blue and black with like glitter or something. So this is going to be like the base. Made a mold for the chassis, I'm guessing that's it, is what that says. Epoxy resin for the hexapod robot. Ooh! Or rather, the larger section of the chassis. Very sweet looking, dude. And I love how you improvised cardboard for your frame. That's pretty sweet. I just love that swirly blue. I take it you used like a stick or something to kind of mix them and just poured them on either side. That looks freaking awesome. Check out what's going on my Facebook here. Ah, nothing. 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 Tra-la-la. Alright, so this gets a little dirty. Oh, let me get my comments back up. Oh, there we go. Gets a little dirty, so I'm gonna wipe that wire a bit. Oh. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Downfall of doing all these parts and resin is waiting for it to cure. Yeah. It's what was donated to. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, it's always best when you can save money. Pour the black first. Oh, sweet. Drag the blue into the black. Man, actually, that's funny that you say that. I actually thought it was the opposite. Let me take another look at it. Okay, I see that. Dang, that just... I know I have a what do you call it? A conflict of interest, because I love blue. Blue's my favorite color, but that looks freaking awesome. No, but if I didn't get my wire for free, I'd be using something else, like a driftwood or something, which I actually think is a great idea, but I don't really have the tools for it, so I'm not gonna get into that anytime soon. I think once the wire runs out, I'm probably gonna get into woodworking. Shit, what would I even make out of wood? I've actually made a couple things out of wood. I made a sailboat out of 2x4s. I mean, it was like this big, so it wasn't very big, but I used slivers of 2x4s to make the sails, and then I used a toothpick, excuse me, a thumbtack and a little screwdriver to carve out the shape. And of course, I guess I used a table saw to get the initial shape. And then just sandpaper hoe. I'm gonna anchor the wire there. Should have done it on the other side, but whatever. Looks like there's actually plenty of room right there for this. Made the black resin by shaving the dust off. Ooh, shaving the dust off of an artist's charcoal block. Holy crap! Yeah, I mean it certainly looks black. Thanks to Flathead Corruption Watch. Oh yeah, is that their real name? And Jamie Smith donated getting 1 gallon set of epoxy. Wow, that must have been a pretty penny. I know that if I had to pay for this wire, ooh, wow, that would be super expensive. This is all scrap. In fact, the wire I'm using, this really thin wire, I was running low of my other thin wire, and just by happenstance, I'm walking home from work, and there's a pretty sharp turn over by the George Bush Highway, and I guess some truck took the turn too hard, and one of their big spools of thin, I guess it's red wire. I don't know what its purpose for, but just happened to catch it. I mean, it's heavy. The spool's heavy, so it took a little bit of effort to get it home. But man, it was just in time. My other wire is. I guess I still have some, but I have not used the rest of it since I got this wire. It's on sale. Third normal price of $157. So they spent about I guess that would be under $60 then. Wow. Still more than what I could afford. But man, I'm really looking forward to seeing your stuff, man. And for anyone watching the future video in the future, is this going to be on your? Oh my gosh, I never remember the name of that damn thing. Let's see. Is this going to be on your Electric Vision channel, or is it going to be on your main channel? Yeah, no, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. I'm actually gonna go work for my dad tomorrow. See if I can get some money for groceries and whatnot. A lot of people take their dads for granted. I try not to, for sure. Some dads would just give me money, but I'm glad that he makes me work for it. Some dads wouldn't even do that, One of the things I've noticed is that I gotta be really careful about how I pull this wire, because the integrity gets compromised if it runs between and gets wedged. So I use my thumb to hold the other side and then guide it as I go until it's in the nice right spot. Hate waiting for resin to cure. I'm gonna post it on both. Oh, cool. If you're lucky, it'll go viral. Hell yeah, man. You know, I just did a soda tab chainmail tutorial, and some of those other people's videos have in the millions. And you know, I looked and looked and looked. Not a single person has soda tab chainmail like I do. So hopefully it'll catch, and people will realize the just absolute what do you call it? What am I trying to say? That my chainmail, soda tab chainmail, is vastly superior to anything else you see on the internet. And I don't even mean to say that just as a boasting thing. I mean, I had to come up with that shit because that was, you know, the only thing you ever find is the good, the crappy stuff, where they're pulling it out of the box to show off what they've done, and it's falling to pieces. It's just ridiculous. You're spitting all over myself. I think one of the cooler parts about this method I use is that the only thing that is time difference between this panel and this panel is the length in which the panel goes. Width has very little to do with how long it takes. So if you're intimidated by the width, don't be. It's more the length of it that you should be like, oh, groan, this is gonna take 3 hours to do. Which is funny. I mean, I always make these instruction kind of thing from my own experience, but who else is gonna have this sort of exact material to use for this exact reason, you know, purpose? Maybe one person, the chosen one. Aside for the main chassis like on cars, yeah. I have only gotten 3 main parts of 1 leg. Oh wow. Messing up 2. Oh man. Oh man. But before you know it, you'll be a resin master. People will look up to you and say, why am I fucking up so bad? And you'll have the answers. Be like, sit, my son. I will show you the way. Oop. Man, I said I was gonna figure out a new set, configuration with my camera, but I guess I didn't do that. Really, I guess I'm thinking about it now. There really isn't much in the way I can do that, because if I set it over here, it'll be pointing directly this way, which would be out of my working range. So the way it is now, it's actually the old selfie stick, extendable selfie stick slash tripod, the 7-in-1 selfie stick thing that I used when I was walking around Dallas with G-Tag all those years ago. That many a moon. And I put nails in this. That's what you use? You're telling me you use this? Oh gosh. Yeah, how do you like it? I know mine it's worthless as a tripod. The feet are like this long, so it's like, the thing extends 5 feet. Roughly 5 to between 5 and 3 feet, and just blows over in the wind. Ah. Okay. Let me set that up where it won't come into the way again. I actually, at a garage sale, found a much better tripod. It kind of falls apart a little bit, but it's actually a tripod. And that's what I use when I'm doing my presentations against the black screen. I've been meaning to make this black and that, you know, back there black, and over and on beside me black, but it really, I just don't have the materials for it. Collapsible selfie stick with tripod legs. Oh gosh. Higher quality. Oh cool. 5.5. Woo. Tripod legs is 18 inches. Okay, cool. So yeah, mine was only like not even $20, so you know, can't hardly expect it to do much. But my phones, I always have the big phones, right? Like this bad boy here is I think it's an ZTE, and hello, and it's way too big to fit on any of the phone holders that I've seen. And and so that was the demise of the phone holder for this thing. But I still had the what do you call it? The camera holder, which is what my webcam has. Slightest wind makes it wave side to side. Ooh, goodness. Yeah, with a nice expensive phone on the end of it, it's no fun. Funny enough, the only time I ever used the selfie part was when I was trying to look over fences. And that was maybe once or twice. I think I'll anchor it this. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'll anchor it over here, actually. I think I didn't finish saying what I was saying earlier, which is that Brian King actually has a second channel by the name of Electric Vision, and the link is at the bottom of my description for anyone watching later. There we go. Nice anchor point. Oh. So that's how much we did so far. It is so long. It takes so long. I actually got inspiration for the antlers from somebody shameless plug. Yeah, if you want to say something about your channel. I know that you do some pretty sweet stuff. I think one of the videos is was it that lift that you did for your neighbor, or am I thinking something that you just showed me personally? Because I titled it under Ingenuity and Innovativeness. Let's see, what did I title it under? Said Ingenuity/builds. This guy can make anything out of anything. If you like watching unique inventions built from scratch, this is the channel for you. What the? Oh. There we go. Yeah, as I mentioned before, since I have not done this side here under the panel, and I know I have enough room on this side, I'm going to make sure that if I do any anchoring, it's going to be where I know I'll have the room for it. So, I'm actually going to put that through this one. Because in my previous projects, I made this much tighter. This wire that holds the two wires together. Dark. And I guess it's the brightness of my hand that's making it dark. And that made it almost impossible to get enough space in there, where I had to like improvise in order to get enough room in there. Standing assist machine I made. Yeah, that's, what was in my head was just not the same thing as what you did. I think you did a really good job with that. My mom is actually making something called the bed bath, where it's to help the elderly get their regular bath time without having to get up and inside and out of a bathtub. But people who are really bedridden, and it's very dangerous to move them most of the time. So she's invented a kind of inflatable bath for the bed, and it has like a gutter system so that you can rinse and stuff like that. And she's trying to get a good patent on it and get it going so she doesn't have to work for the rest of her life. Let me turn down my music again. It's still a little loud to me. Personally, I think the blaringly on this blue kind of clashes with the copper a bit. Oh yeah, I mean it was the only headphones I really had at the time. Now I've got these, where I just have to disconnect the thing there, but I really just need them to be connected at the bottom, the wire, so it's not coming through the top. And then, I don't think I'll be making another mask with headphones again, though, so. But, yeah, the blue. I think you remember these ears that came with it, too. They light up. Nah. I don't think that would fit too well. They're not exactly deer ears, so. But it'd be funny. Funny enough, I was actually not ranting, but making an inspirational post on Facebook today on how impressive memes are. Leave it to Beaver. How's it going, man? Yeah, man. How's it doing? Hey, man, I'm coming here to tell you always like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. I do my best, that's for sure. It's hard to stay positive. But I think part of me coming live again is that I'm feeling a lot better spiritually than I have in the last few months, if not year or so. I think it's finally time that I stop feeling sorry for myself and get on with life. You know what I mean? I was finally able to express myself to my family and tell them how much I really didn't like them and how they treated me. And I think after expressing that, I was finally able to find some peace and closure, now that they finally know. So I think I can leave it alone and get over what they did to me. But what I was saying was that memes are truly impressive. That no matter the topic, no matter how dark, no matter how sensitive, no matter how insignificant or important the topic, you can make a meme out of anything, and that's what makes us so free. That's what makes the First Amendment so important and so worth fighting for. It's probably the most important amendment we have, second only to the Second Amendment, ironically enough. And if anyone tries to tell you, and that this is the greatest country in history, and if anyone tries to tell you otherwise, you just remind them that if it wasn't the case, then they wouldn't even be allowed to say as such. and come back after many years as if it was no big deal. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the experience, but I can definitely relate to the pain of something that bothers you and stuff like that. And I hope you can find peace one of these days. Because I tell you, I think that I would probably be a Sith Lord by now. With all the pain and hatred and shit like that I felt for so long, and still kind of feel, it's hard to get over that sort of thing, but I definitely think I would be a Sith Lord by now. Use your anger. Let the hate flow through you. What would my Sith name be? Does anyone else know what kind of Jedi or Sith name they would have? I guess Jedis don't necessarily have names. But, what Sith name you might have? I gotta think about mine. I've been really enjoying a few channels. I think one's called Comic Book, Star Wars Comics, Star Wars Reading Club, and Star Wars Theory, I think it was. Now, there's a lot more, but those are the three that I normally pay attention to. And, wow, I had no idea that there was so much story to the Star Wars lore than just the movies. I mean, shit, they're novels. They're like whole books. It's crazy. Excuse me, it's crazy. It's a little light there. A little thin there, so I'm going to try and backtrack a tiny bit. And go through the... there. It's a little better. I can do just one or two more. Man, I'm just feeling all good and stuff from all that, from what you said there, Beaver. I really should have come back live a long time ago. Should have learned my lesson from when I was in the hospital and remember that my friends really helped me through that time. They could have probably helped me through this recent time too. I actually recently got invited to start joining a D&D club thing that goes on at a friend's house, and I'm feeling more motivated now than ever to get a job and get out there and start hanging out and go to the club more often and just not be in my little box here all day, every day. Need to go? That's fine. Thanks for stopping by, man. Try to finish the mold second chassis section. Want to try and port tonight. Oh yeah, for real. You don't want to waste time, bruh. It's good to see you, dude. Hope you're feeling alright. Anchor that baby. And when I get up here a little bit, I'm going to try and fill that gap while I'm over there. Oop, shit. I should get a little closer. Just my chair. Silly man, I hope you keep on keeping on. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be here until about 9:30 Central Time. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo-doo, down. Oop. Oh, it's right in my face. There. Come on. Oh, shit. Last thing I needed to do was kink. Don't kink shame me. Whoa, that's almost kinked it again. There we go. Nice and clean. Clean enough. Boom. Let's see here. No, that'll be fine. Hello, Ricker. How's it going? Making a cover mask and armor for a project at school. Whoa! Hell yeah, man. You want to take a look at this one? It'll be just a moment. I'm just gonna finish up this wire, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like right now. Oops. So, you're making some armor, huh? Copper mask and armor for a project at school. Stumbled across the channel, which helped me a bunch. Awesome! Man, see, that's what makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it. It's like my life finally has purpose. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, I hope that you make a killing at the presentation. What kind of materials do you have available? Just wire, or you got like panels kind of thing? Because this is, you know, this is electrical wire. Just buy one from Honest Gas. Oh goodness, yeah. If you've got a bunch of money, these things take a long time to make, that's for sure. But, you know, you can do your own and make it even better. Just one more thing, and I'm going to anchor this wire. There we go. Go. Alright, just bust the end of that. Architecture student, first assignment is to make our own armor. Whoa! Yeah, I think, I don't know if you've come across my my wire armor, but it was kind of a failed project for me, but I was more or less trying to get through it way too quickly, so it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and just kind of gave up on it. I had to get it done before Halloween, so I might pick it up again one day. There it is. Alright, let's take a look at what it looks like right now. Yeah, and if you've got lots of soda tabs, that'll work too. I tell you, there's nowhere else, nowhere on the internet will you find my style of soda tab chainmail. Boom. Oh shit. Whoops. There we go. So, essentially, if you have different sizes I got from Home Depot, woo, that's gonna be expensive. For a bit of a mask frame and panel for the face. Hell yeah, man. I actually started with the ears, worked my way to the front and back, and then did the top after that. That would be a great time saver? Yeah, for real. I actually, all this stuff is scrap. This is my first antler attempt, and let's take a look at my hands. Oh, I got stuck. There we go. And I got my crown. Here we go. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but that's the kind of thing that I make there, so you can actually see right through that. I'm almost tempted to bring out my armor. Ranges from 2 to 50 cents a foot. Hey, that's not too bad. Depending on the wire size, yeah. I actually get all mine from my my neighbor. He scraps wire, and so he was kind enough to give me all the wire I have for free. Due on Friday. Oh no, it's gonna be a lot of work for such a short time. You could probably make something like this in a week, but I don't think a full suit of armor, unfortunately. Especially with, you know, crystals and whatnot. Certainly glad to hear that you're doing your own, that you're getting your inspiration from me, man. Yeah. There we go. That's pretty cool. I wish I had done architecture in school. Jeez Louise, I didn't even think about, I didn't even get interested in learning until I was 21. So I screwed up. But, you know, I'm glad to hear that you didn't. Scrap off the ground real quick. There we go. There we go. The right way around. But yeah, just a few tips here is that you want, if you're going to make anything like this, you're going to want to have nice thick gaps between your wires. And another key thing is that you want to do all the wire flat first, and then when it's all completely covered, you take your fingers and you bow it out. That way it'll all be the same length, and then when you bow it out first and then keep going, this will be tight and this will be bowed. So what size you use? Oh man, I actually don't know what any of the size wires I have. All of it's scrap, so I don't even know. I'll tell you what the thickness is with my ruler though. Let's see here. So 3 dots on the wire. I think that's considered a 1/8. It's an 1/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1/8 of an inch thickness on this part here, and I'm gonna guess 22 gauge. Maybe 24 gauge, maybe 26 gauge on the thin wire here. There we go. There we go. Whew. Let's see here. Oh, messed up. There we go. There we go. What the hell? Ah. Sorry, I was just checking on something. Oh, I guess I was done with the wire. Let's get this right here. Oh, you know what? I'll bet the wire says how much gauge it is. It says... It's kind of hard to read. Let's see here. It says... 9mm insulation. So I guess this part here is 9mm. Or 19, excuse me, 19. 500 feet. Yeah, I don't think it says how thick the what the gauge is of the individual wires. Let's see. Nope, that doesn't say it either. There we go. Is everything tied together with wire, glue, or welding, soldering? Just wire. All this stuff is just... so you have an anchor point there. Then I'll weave it through. Let me show you another mask here. This mask was my first one, and you can see I made a lot of, it's just one wire here. Come on, focus. And so it was real busy. It has a lot of bunched up things, like up here really digs into the forehead because it's real thick there, but you can actually see through that fairly well. And this is how I wound that together. Very tight. You don't want to do it too tight because then there's no room. Then there's no room for the... Come on, stupid thing won't focus in the right thing. There we go. So it's too tight there. Actually, I had to go around it at that point. And then when I learned from that one, I made this one. Let's get this one out. So this is really where I made the so there's just barely enough room in there to get the wires through, right? But there are some areas where there just wasn't any room at all. I actually had to improvise. Let's see if I can find one, like here. I had to improvise and actually make a way to attach the wire. So, and then we'll look at the inside here. Here, let me just put it on real quick. I love showing off my masks. I have to wear these, this head sock, because you're going to deal with a lot of pulling and snagging of your hair. So if you can find something to put over your hair, then that'll actually make things a lot easier. This one I started with the circle here, then I did the front, the nose, and the back. And then I did the eyes, right? And then I did the panels on the side, and then the top. And then once the whole frame was done, then I did the wire itself. And then when that was done, I pushed out the wire. So there was a time where I actually couldn't wear this thing because this had to be flat, and this thing fits really well. So I can actually do that. How long did the Cyberpunk one do? Realistically, about a couple weeks, I would say. I really wouldn't know how to describe it because I don't work on it 8 hours a day. So if you worked on it like 8 hours a day, you could probably do it in a week. The wire webbing, yeah, I've never seen this thing done before, and it's actually pretty easy to see through. Like I can read texts, and I wouldn't be able to drive. Don't get me wrong, but you could definitely see well enough to talk to people, to walk, dance is what I use it for. Don't go outside with the. How am I supposed to get electricity powers if I don't get out there and get struck by lightning? But yeah, definitely. I really encourage you to give that a try. And be very aware of the direction that you're doing your wires. So so if it's like this long, you don't want to do it this way, right? You want to be able to do it in a nice, yeah, it'll become static shock. Wow, I have not heard that one in a while. It's like, what was he? He was like a high schooler. Static shock. Let's see. Was that WB? And then you'll come up with things like this. Let's see here. Let me pull stuff up I didn't grab yesterday. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Everything's falling apart. Well, not apart, but falling off. There we go. This wasn't a very good example, but this way. Nope, this way. Headdresses that you can actually sell if you wanted to. That's not a very good example. Here we go. There's a good one. Boom. This is the one I actually wear. So anytime I leave the house, I actually wear this one, along with my trench coat and stuff like that. Be for the paneling? I definitely think so. As long as there's enough structure between the wires here, right? So if you're making pecs, right, you're going to want it to be strong enough to hold the strength, to hold the, show the technique. Here. Just put these down real quick. Alright, so. Stupid camera. So what you're looking at here, right, is once you finish the frame, so you're going to make one like a pec, and then you'll start from a corner and go along, and then you'll even have things like here, a side where it's just straight across, and that'll be just fine, but you don't want it to be, you know, angled out, and then you come to here, and suddenly you don't have anywhere to grip. So, you know, keep that in mind, and then you just keep a close eye out for the amount of gap you have there. So since I'm working on this side, since I'm working here, and this side is already done, right, I know that I have all the space I need on this side. So I'll actually start the anchor for the wire here, and then end it here as well, so that I know for sure that I'll have enough room to continue on this side when I do this panel. And this one I'm actually going to go to a point. So let me grab a wire here. My scrap wire. Excuse me. Scrap. Scrap! There we go. I'll just drop the wire. Just move out. Come on. There. Stupid thing. I'll put it over here. There. Alright, so first you're going to want to wipe the wire so that it doesn't make your hands too terribly dirty. and it's going to be a real pain in the ass to clean this thing later. So you're going to have a bucket the size of your mask or your armor or something, and then fill the bucket with cleaner of some kind. Just do a couple more times. And it's crucial, I'm telling you, it's very crucial. If there's anything you want to learn, it's that you don't want to bend these wires out to make definition until it's all the way complete. And even so, the whole mask is covered. And that way, when you're tightening this side won't become too loose, and this side won't be, it won't be two different lengths there. So I'm going to grab a good spot to anchor. Just kind of give it a good amount of anchor point there. And you'll even notice that in the back here I've left it sort of open, and that way you'll be able to expand the thing open so that you can actually put it on. I'm actually kind of running out of time, so we have about 10 minutes before I have to go. So let me try and give you some pointers before I have to get off. There we go. One more time for good measure. I'm just gonna I'll take another pair of pliers. I'm just gonna grab the wire and bend it back and forth until it just snaps. So it tells you how weak the wire is. You want to be very aware of the strength of your wire. And then I'm going to feed it through here. And I'm going to take my thumb and hold on, and make sure that the wire is not going to kink as I pull on it. And then if I see a loop, you just pull out the loop and tighten it this way, away from the wire. Because if you tighten it this way, it's going to cause stress where the wire is. So then you go up to the next one. And get it out from under the antlers. Hold it here with my finger, hold it here with my thumb. There we go. And just guide the wire through, and nice and tight. Then, to make sure that it doesn't get too thin, every once in a while you want to go back a tiny bit, and that way it'll be fairly, since I'm not going to be seeing through this thing, you want it to be nice and thick for good, for quality purposes. Nice and tight. Sew that thing through. There you go. Writing this down? Hell yeah, man. You can, more than welcome. You are more than welcome to copy anything I make and try and do any, make your own flair on it until you're comfortable with doing your own thing, because I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to put a copyright on my work. I want everyone to feel comfortable with trying it out for themselves. And I even have a Discord on my link in the description so that you can get early notifications for when I go live. And I always love to see what people have, are working on. So I have certain sections in my Discord where you can show off what you've got, show off what you're making. And I don't have a lot of people on there, so not a lot of people are going to see it. Just like how I only have like Wamito, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't been on in a while. Good to see you, bro. But yeah, if you get the Discord, then you'll get early notifications for when I go live. Now, in this particular instance, I'm actually going to go over this way. And finish up this this panel over here. Didn't want to use fresh wire for this because it would have just wasted a good long wire. So I'm just going to take that there. Let's get a better, happier song. There we go, that's better. I'm trying to think of anything else that's important. A hammer is a good tool for this. For when, because this wire is nice and thick, it's going to be really a pain in the ass to bend to your will once it's nice and anchored into the mask, or anchored into the frame. So, I'll take a hammer and bow out some of these flat areas to make it more like a curve instead of just a box. Oops, damn it. And bear in mind the strength of your wire. When you bend it too many times, it's going to get weak and break. I know that on my Cyberpunk mask, a few wires have come to break over time because I just was not careful enough in how I fed this wire through. Anything else? Let's see. Is the why? Just wondering why copper. Is there any other materials you like to work with? I actually work with anything I've got. So a while back I had soda tabs and a lot of them, and so I made this. Great. Let's take a look at this bad boy. This is my soda tab trench coat. You can take a look at the way I put that together. I actually have a tutorial on how I made this, so feel free to. Oh, look at that! That's really funny. My camera is getting disturbed by all the aluminum. That's really funny. Oh, backing up into stuff. So I love making masks. Till Cody's lab. Oh yeah, So where he did a copper rain chainmail, I guess it's called home. Yeah, I'm sure he did it the wrong way. I'm sure he didn't do it like this one. So you see that's funny. My camera is freaking out because of the. Maybe you guys can't see it, but my camera is freaking out because of the copper. I'm sorry, the. I think I'm subscribed to Cody's Lab, yeah. But just to give you guys an idea, that is double layered for a 90-degree angle. I gotta get this thing away from there. It's freaking out my computer. Oh, copper ring. Oh shit, that's awesome. Yeah, my only copper ring chainmail is my first copper mask. Oh shit. I was wondering where those headphones went. Here it is. Whoop. Oh, I guess this has become loose over the years. It's hard to find that spot. Wow, this mask has become so loose now. Oh, here we go. Come on now. Wow, that thing is just falling apart. Must have drank a lot of soda tabs. No, my family was saving their beer tabs over the years, and they drink a lot. I don't, but they do. And that's actually only my first trench coat. I have a second one that I never completed. Whew, wow, that copper is starting to stink. Copper ring chainmail, Cody's Lab, have you heard? Yeah, I've heard that channel. Oh, I guess I already read that. It doesn't even look like soda tab. I'm telling you, there's no other video, no other channel out there that makes soda tabs like I do. Soda tab chainmail like I do. I had to make a tutorial just to fix that problem where there's no other channel out there that has that. And this is standard chainmail, but I also made Chinese chainmail. This style. It's quite useless as anything, practical, but it'll make a good wall piece. I was gonna make it as a cape, but it's like 20 pounds. Shit. Whew, that copper is not smelling good. I think it's going rotten. Let's see here. There we go. And any minute now, I'm actually gonna have to. Oh, any minute now, I'm gonna get a call to go in. So we're probably coming down to the last few moments of the live stream, guys. Certainly, for any other ideas that you want to try out there, Wrecker. I've got a full list of channels that I recommend in the bottom, in the description, ranging from engineering to makeup to wire art, and there's one particular person, Yanni Williams, and she is a master. Oh my gosh. She does cosplay stuff, and that's way beyond what I do. There we go. That's much better. Probably do a few more on this side. Come on. And I just recently put someone in there that cuts stones. Ooh, man, tell it what I want to do. It's cut stones. That shit's awesome. Did you just find my channel, or have you seen me for a minute? Would appreciate it. Oh, for sure, man. I'm really really excited to see what you got when it's done. So you definitely want to get into my Discord so that I can take a look. And if you have any questions, I can also answer them. Alright, so here's really something interesting. Okay, so a few days ago, nice. So right here, let's see if I can get that closer. So right here, I kind of have only a little bit of room to mess with here. And I guess I don't really need to do it, because I can always do it up there. But I'm going to go around this. I'll do it just so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go around this, and that way there is this right here. So now, when I come back around, oh shit. Now when I come back around, instead of having to worry about all that, I can actually just take the wire through that loop that I made. So if you come across a situation where you don't have enough room there, you just want to make a bridge, maybe one or two actually, and that way you'll have something to put the wire through, and that way there won't be this big gap in the mesh. So you're just going to be extra careful of how you pull on it, because it's going to be much more fussy about the kink there. And then I'm gonna anchor this over here. I'm actually using toothless pliers here. I need to get my other pliers. Yeah, feel free to take a look at all the stuff I do, especially my masks and whatnot. I didn't make any particular video on my my wire armor, so you'll probably have to dig deep for that. In fact, if I've got a couple minutes, I may as well show you. It's under a bunch of stuff, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. Come on. Stupid thing. Hated Turtle, what's up, man? Yeah, I saw that too. Hey, I'm getting there. Okay. Before I go, let's take a look at this. Oh wow, I haven't pulled this thing out in a while. Yeah. Oh, there's the phone call. Hang on just a second. Alright, so before I go, let's take a look at this, since I already pulled it out, and I want to show you what I made here. So we got a... Wow, it's been a while since I've grabbed this. I'll just show you the chest piece, though. Here's the legs. So I'll wrap that on my thigh. I'm wearing pajamas, so I don't want to snag my clothes there. So let's grab this chest piece here. Oop. Abdomen. See how I remember this comes on here. Clip. So it's nice on the abdomen. And then I'll put the go. There. So there we got the... I think I cut myself. It's not too bad. Got the movable shoulders, the chest piece, the abdomen, thighs, and the forearms. But I do have to go at some point soon. But definitely, you know, there's really, the sky's the limit, you know. Let's take a look at the back. So, yeah, you just keep in mind that there's really nothing that is off limits when it comes to making something awesome. And I believe in you. I know you can do it. It's gonna be a pain in the ass and a half to get this thing back in the box, but I'm glad that I showed you. When it's done, definitely won't be as good as I started out some point too. But I know you're gonna be able to do some good stuff when you get the hang of it. This was a failed experiment. That was supposed to be the shoulder or something. But oh. You plus fire damage, yeah. Plus 5 fire damage. Hell yeah. I got a wizard staff and a wand. Oh shit, my stuff's falling over. Wizard staff. My wand. Looks like a giant turd, but man, does it fit in the hand. It's like, don't fuck with me, I'm armed. This thing's loaded. Alrighty guys, I do have to go though. Gotta go. Gotta send me away. No. Whatever. Okay. Just gotta say goodbye real quick. Good. Oh. Right. Okay. Okay. Oh, no problem, dude. I'm really happy to see that you're inspired by what I do. I know that you can even do better stuff than I do when you get the hang of it. And so I didn't really learn from anybody except the internet. So, alright, guys, I do have to go. Mwah. See you later.